going back to old style vodka making. St. Thomas, peaches and cream corn. Per part. Rolling. Well, the story really starts with the Patron tequila. When I wanted to bring the silver into Canada, my whole involvement with this business really begins because I just wanted to make a good margarita at my dock. I love making a good margarita. I had a lesser quality product to work with. I said to my friend JP, please, let's bring the silver into Canada. So in order to bring it to my rural LCBO liquor store, I had to bring it across the country. I became the importer. From there, began a relationship with Diamond Estates that has the vineyards, distributor as well. I bought a piece of it, learned a little bit more about the industry, and then the vodka was presented as an opportunity by my friend John Alexander, who designed the bottle, and we decided we wanted to go back to the old style of vodka making, that is just the mash and the water. Most of the vodkas in the world today have what's known as fusel oils in them. Fusel oils, fusel is German for bad liquor. And glycol, raw sugar, and citrus are the common oils that are put in vodka. Now, what do you get from that? Well, you get an artificial viscousness, a smoothness, an oiliness, but you get impurities. And you also mask the alcohol. The original purpose of making the vodka is to have a little alco punch in there, isn't it? So, I'd said to the St. John's Newfoundland distiller, the last government-owned still in North America, the government still of the Newfoundland people. I went to the principals there and I said, I want to eliminate all the fusel oils from Crystal Head vodka. We have a beautiful bottle based on the legend of the Crystal Heads. We're going to put junk in it? I don't think so. St. Thomas peaches and cream corn, proprietary grains. The Newfoundland aquifer glacial-based water. The water from the 800 feet of ice that was on top of Iraq back then, 16,000, that melted 16,000 years ago. That's the original water there. And that Newfoundland water is unpolluted because the Erie Basin acid rains didn't get there because it's 1,000 miles away from the Erie Basin from all that pollution. All right, so we put the water from Newfoundland, just our mash. We don't add the oils. Anthony Dias Blue, who is the basically Robert Parker of the vodka world, gave us a 91-point rating. In the 90s, a 91, that's without adding the oils. That's without creating the artificial smoothness. We got a 91-point rating. His notes were vanilla, sweet, dry, crisp, with a kick of heat off the finish. And when I read that, I said, we have succeeded. We went back to the old style. You get a little heat off the tongue. You have a taste, a slightly sweet vanilla corn taste. And the product has caused us now to produce our millionth bottle. Well, it was John Alexander. Really, he's fascinated with the Hispanic American tradition of the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is a celebration of the souls that have gone on. It's not really a celebration of death, it's a celebration of life after death. In Mexico, in the graveyards on the Day of the Dead, they bring boom boxes, they bring food, they come and they party at the gravestone, they bring stuff to drink and eat. And so it's a very celebratory thing, and skeletons and skulls are a very large part of it, and a large part of John's art. His paintings feature skeletons and skulls. He's been painting them for years, and he said he'd always wanted to do a bottle. I said, well, I'm standing there in his loft in New York City. It's February, the snowflakes are coming down, it's cold. I'm talking to him about the Patron, we're having some XO. And he says, you know, would love to do a bottle, you know, shaped like a skull. I said, oh, well, you know, draw that up. And I turn my back, and I think, you know, a couple of months later, he'll come up with a design. And 2 minutes later, he draws up this. I said, John, this looks like the Mitchell Hedges skull, the most famous of the 13 crystal heads, the one that was found in the Yucatan by Anna Mitchell Hedges in 1928, when she reached into a cave and pulled an oilcloth out, and there was this beautiful, clear skull with a detachable jaw. And she and her grandfather looked at it and said, this is probably the Mayan crystal head. The Navajo had one, the Aztec had one. There are 8 of them in the possession of mankind, 5 are missing. So we're sipping the XO, which I've treated the ladies to right now. And he came up with the concept. We developed the legend, redeveloped the legend of the heads. And basically what we say is, you know, you can't own a real one, but here you can own one in tribute. And in keeping with that, what would we put in this but only the purest of spirits? We distill distill 4 times, not 5 or 6, because we want some taste left in there. If you over distill, the taste disappears. Then we pour it through a charcoal filter just to really make sure that that the original alcohol from the mash is pure, and the original components have nothing in shipping in tanks and stuff. You want to get that out of there, any residues. That filters it right down. Again, we've added no oil, so there's no impurities added into the mix. And then we pour it over Herkimer diamonds. I said to my children, you have your college funds, and I'm going in the vodka business, and I'm taking the money out of them, and I'm going to fund the manufacture of Crystal Head vodka. You say, go, Dad, go. Well, I can tell you, after 2 years of production, the funds have been replenished, and we're all in the black there. But they said go for it. And I'm going to show you the state of most Patron. I'm going to show you the state of most Patron XO bottles in North America right now. Half empty.